Insights with Terri Ep.109 a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.109. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.109. We are going to explore February the 19th through the 26th, 2023. Now, we have some really good energy. It's a little off as far as how we feel organically because that vibration is really high. The sun sign is in Pisces. Pisces is very psychic, very spiritual. Jupiter, being the ruling planet of Pisces, is the teacher. It's the good teacher. The very difficult teacher, the one that gives us the really hard lessons, is Saturn. But Jupiter's a happy little teacher and likes to give us lessons that are a little bit more fun, or maybe the outcome is a little bit better, so we don't have to slug so hard. So it's a good energy field. Now, it being so psychic, we will be acutely aware of things. It can be a little unnerving for some. I really need you to pay attention to your nudges that you get from the universe, being really careful to identify, is this coming from the universe or is this coming from me? There's a big difference there. I've had occasion to be with people that swore, they were adamant that spirit was telling them to do this, to do this, to do this, and it wasn't spirit, it was a want that they had, and they couldn't identify their wants from what spirit is speaking to us. That's a hard thing to do. It takes practice, and so they're going to give us the opportunity this month to practice. We've got it for about a month, 3 more weeks. Now, sun sign Pisces symbolizes the core, the essence of who you are, your individually, your sense of self. And this can motivate you. Why? Because it gets us to look at ourselves. We have the opportunity to step back and look at ourselves without having a perception tied to it. What are you really seeing? Now, I do that in the dog training. The people will tell me one story. The dog tells me a story. The kids tell me a story. The husband tells me a story. And my job is to step back and look at, what do I see? Not what am I being told, not what is their understanding. What do I really see? And that's where Pisces is going to help us if we decide to do it, using that Jupiter energy of teaching, learning, not beating ourselves down. No, not that. What it is, it's something that allows us to look at it detached of ego. That's a hard place to get to, but it's very powerful when you're able, most of the time, to put ego to the side. That is it's a tool that gives you personal power that I cannot describe to you with human words, because you won't be affected. We won't be affected by another person's words. It's not that you don't pay attention to what people are saying. It's that we won't be affected by their approval of us or their criticism of us. They can't make us happy. They can contribute to it, but they can't own it. That's us. That's ours to own. So this is what they're going to offer us this month. So the functional expression of this energy, besides compassion and mysticism and service and sacrifice, is getting into empathy, working with your intuition, your sensitivity. Be in service to people. Look at it and say, what could I do for them? How could I help? How could I be of service? It's imaginative. Jupiter offers that. Very, very creative and devotional. This is where spirituality will start to really land on you if you open yourself up to it. The dysfunctional side, that expression of it, could be feeling airheadedy and ungrounded. It could be victim. I'm a victim, crying, whining, victimization of ourselves, suffering through sacrifice. Instead of looking at it and doing it and getting through it and seeing where your boundaries are, we're long suffering through sacrifice. It's addictive, critical, fear, lost. So all of that is the dysfunctional side of it. So if you start to see yourself in that, hey, grab yourself and say, whoa, 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 kid, let's get back here on track. This sense of self will come from being in the world, not necessarily of the world. Now, this is hard for me to describe. I can only do it from my own point of view. I've had occasion when I was at Lily Kazilli's doing readings, excuse me, and I was leaving. I had done all the people that wanted to be done, and I was leaving, and everybody was still dancing, and the bands were playing, and everybody was having fun. And I realized that I'm in this world, but I'm not of it. At least at that moment, it was very profound. And it's not about not fitting. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm sure the people that listen to these podcasts know what I'm talking about. So this energy can motivate us to have a desire to connect to realities that are greater than the here and the now. We will feel the need to live the truth, that there's more to life than what we're seeing, or what they say, what meets the eye. To look at the layers, to inhabit dimensions of reality that are transcending the everyday. So this is where you notice people that have a challenge in their life and they transcend that challenge. That don't let that challenge define them, or that bad event define them, or vengeance or anger or fear define them. They transcend that and look at it very differently. So we are going to be governed this month by facets of experience that go beyond the purely physical. We will be opened up, if we allow, to spirituality, to being highly imaginative, to being sensitive on a scale that maybe we hadn't felt before, and impressionable. Now, when I say that, I don't want to go to the dark side of that. I want to have us understand that impressionable would be maybe me watching that movie that I really enjoyed, A Man Called Otto. That impressed me. The things that the people did for him, even when he was still crabby, that impressed me. So I was impressionable when I was watching that movie and after. And I think we may need to do that. Look at somebody that you admire, that you aspire to be like when we grow up. So it's a duality in nature. So we need to attempt to chart a realistic course through this. Don't get into escapism. That could be a very difficult thing to get out of, and it can be a very strong pull. So that's something that we have to watch. Mercury, the planet of thinking and how we process things, is still in that Aquarian energy, and that's going to afford us that Uranian energy that will give us new ideas, a way to step outside the box, to work with things in an innovative way, very different, very unique, and find different answers, not just keep doing the same thing over and over. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, the planet of attraction, that is in Pisces. Now, on the 21st, that is going to move into Aries. Now, Aries is a fire sign. Nothing wrong with Aries. It's a fire sign. Very passionate, very, fires move forward, move sideways, move up, move down. So it's a very engulfing kind of energy, and very, as I said, impulsive. So it could burn us right out if we're not careful, but it's very powerful if we want to use that. And that's what is attractive to us. Maybe another person that is burning through their life, that is full of life, just is burning out of them. So we'll be attracted to that too. And Aries is the child, so we'll be attracted to joy and fun and just having fun. So use this energy to have some fun. Go do something that's unique and enjoy it. Just kick up your heels and have some fun. That's what the horses do. They kick their heels up. And Mars, The planet of our drive and our passion is still, and I'm not going to beat this one to death, still in Gemini. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I've talked it to pieces. So that is the curiosity, the drive for new information, interesting people, interesting subjects. That's something that we'll all want to take part in. A boring person would kill us right now. We'd absolutely die of boredom. Or a boring job or boring scenario. It's not something that we strive for. We'll be looking outside for something more interesting, more mentally engaging. This is the time to look for good books, good movies, good different things. The number that was given to us is the number 1. And we've had number 1 come up quite a bit this year. When you pair it with where the planets are right now, it's showing that it may try to hone certain individuals that are willing to be leaders. It's number 1. It's the leader energy. So if, God forbid anybody dies, but we need new leaders. We need maybe some of the leaders that haven't done so well or just really aren't good role models to step aside and maybe have some real good ones that we could find if we can find good leaders. I mean, surely there's got to be some in all of North America. So I think the universe is going to try to hone, shape some new leaders, to have courage, to inspire, to be active, to be creative, so that we can have somebody to truly look up to. Number 1 is priority. Priority to individual success. Priority to have the ability to use our initiative, to be determined to succeed. Number 1, to win, to complete, to devote more time to the completion of a project, to other people. It's a wonderful energy for praise. Don't be afraid to praise the people that you love and admire in a sincere way. It's something that all of us need. And it encourages, motivates us to continue moving forward. Be careful of domineering energy during this time. That can happen. You know what the ram gets like, and then you add that with number 1. It could be a dominating energy. I'm actually seeing it in my animals a little bit. I've got 15 dogs, and normally the pack is pretty settled, but I unfortunately lost actually 3 dogs last year, 18 years old and 2 15-year-olds. So hard to let go of them. But the pack is now unsettled, so nobody knows who the leader is other than me. But I do like to have a sidekick, so I always support a very balanced dog to help be my sidekick. And I'm finding that they're trying to dominate each other. Part of it is the pack progression, but it's that domineering energy of Aries that on the 21st gets into Venus. Everybody wants to be the leader, wants to be number 1. But we have to look for good management skills if we want them to be number 1. So I have to do that in the dogs. Which one is not a nag? Which one will help teach the younger ones better habits? Which one will block bad habits? And they do that. If you have a balanced pack, they will do that. The weakness of number 1, compared with all of our planets where they are right now, can be the feeling of superiority and taking it to a level that we shouldn't. Maybe being stubborn. We have to guard against that. And maybe hesitant and have difficulty in finding our own way. So we want to guard against that. And too little help and too little support from others or for others, and maybe feeling lonely. Number 1, lonely. So those are the downsides of it. But we don't have to go there. We can just be aware of it and avoid it. The health issues through this week, what we want to watch, if you're vulnerable. If your feet, toes are vulnerable, watch them. Take good care of those little feeties because they're going to struggle the beginning of the week. And if you are vulnerable in there, just give them a good little rub, take care of them, give them a little bit of tender care, and listen to them. The feet will tell you when you've done too much. I got to get off my feet. Right? You hear that, and that is something that Good shoes, really important. Big, thick soles, really important. No foot, no horse. So when your feet give out, you're not going too far. The middle of the week, it's going to shift gears from the feet to the head. So we could have sinus, we could have headaches, our teeth, our tongues, the upper part of our arteries. If you're vulnerable in that area, really pay attention to it. And then moving through the week to the end of the week, it moves from the head down to the neck, the vocal cords, your throat, if you have thyroid issue, tonsils. So all of that can be vulnerable. You don't have to go there. You can prevent this, but it is something that could throw us over the edge. So that's it in a nutshell, kids. Thank you so much for listening to me and tuning in. I really appreciate your time. And if you are interested, Charlie O'Brien, our digital person that gets everything up here, has us on Spotify podcasts, on Apple iTunes, on Amazon Music, SoundCloud, and YouTube. The link will be on Facebook. He has also archived certain podcasts for us on the website www.terriworld.com. So you can go if you've missed some, or if you just want to kind of check in again and see what you missed, or double do it. Now, our Charlie has started a GoFundMe link. If you could, I will paste that on Facebook. I can't say all those numbers, but it's the Big 8 Radio, and he's on air. And if we could help him stay on air, because it's amazing. It's an amazing program. Oh my gosh, if you hear his voice, you'll just love it too. So that's Charlie O'Brien at Keep Big 8 Radio on air. And I will send that link on Facebook as well. So if you'd like to help Charlie out, and you'll be helping me too, because anything that helps Charlie helps me. Thank you so much. If you need a reading for yourself, you can text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at Terri, Terri.Coutts, Coutts @gmail.com. And maybe I can work with you and see what's going on for you personally. Thanks again, everybody. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coutts. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.